Morning. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has a new op-ed out in the New York Times titled, "Don't Count on Government to Protect Your Privacy." I got to tell you, Leader, I was shocked at what the answer is, because it's kind of the opposite of what this whole hearing is about today, sort of, not necessarily, but you think not only is blockchain a viable and an important technology, but it could be the cure, not the disease itself, for what people are talking about, to these privacy issues. That's staggering to me, and I guess it's because you're from California and maybe you understand this stuff.
No, I mean, the point, blockchain gives you a great deal amount of security. My concern is the answers that I'm hearing from Washington are really what I heard during Dodd-Frank. It's simplistic. Break the companies up that do nothing to protect my privacy, or create and regulate them that make them a utility that take away all innovation. You know, when you think about it, and I leave in that editorial something that Tom Siebel and I were talking about. What if the Postal Service allowed you to mail for free, but they could read your letters and send you advertisement? That is how Gmail was created. Now, Google says they no longer read your emails, but they allow third parties to do it. People don't understand where their privacy is going. And when I'm on Facebook, I'm not the customer, I'm the product. Facebook is free because they sell your data to make money. Now they want to get into the business, and they're not Bitcoin in this Libra. I mean, they're not decentralized. What I'm really looking for in this hearing is how and when will Libra actually become decentralized? And companies have to pay $10 million to get into this Libra, and there's only a few select, so a small business couldn't get in. So then you're concerned about competition. Is it really an open and free market? Is this a Venmo, or is this really going to be a Bitcoin? So these are questions, and it's right that Washington asks these questions of where we're going.
You're preaching to the choir, saying all the things that it's not decentralized, so I don't even see what good it is. It just sets you up to have someone in charge, and the 10 million you're talking about, they keep the float on that, and it's just it's kind of a retread of everything that Bitcoin was created to sort of to be an alternative to. But I'm just surprised that a Republican sitting in in a powerful position is making the case for, really, I think you're making the case for blockchain and Bitcoin, Leader.
Well, look, I like Bitcoin. Is it where it needs to be? No, but the real thing I like when it comes to Bitcoin is blockchain, because I like the security. I want government to actually start using Bitcoin.
You need to keep talking. It took me a while to figure out exactly what and you know what got me there? When I saw what Libra was, and it's like, this is everything that Bitcoin it has that gives it value and that makes it powerful and attractive and really generationally changing, I think, is not evident to me in Libra. And in fact, it's even worse, because it puts Mark Zuckerberg and all these autocrats in charge of even more, which is the opposite of what we're looking for.
Look, the real concern I have with any of these tech companies is about anti-competitiveness. Does somebody else have the ability to come up? You know, the company that really should have been Amazon was Sears. They had every ability. They sold you from a house to clothing. They had a catalog. They didn't compete. They didn't go forward. Can somebody else compete with Amazon? Can somebody else compete with Google? Are they being anti-competitive? That's the concern I have.
Let me just ask you one bigger, sort of larger crypto question, because Bitcoin's price has moved in large part because of this idea that Libra will ultimately be successful. In many ways, the one benefit of Libra over a Bitcoin is that there is somebody, and a company at least, or companies, that you can go to when your Libra is stolen or something bad happens, and ostensibly it gets adjudicated. And that potentially, depending on how this is regulated, it will be harder for thieves and other people who are trying to do bad things to use a currency like that ultimately might be regulated in terms of not just custodial accounts, but might be able to be more trackable. Bitcoin, one of its great benefits is that it can cross borders. But the flip side is it can cross borders, and you may not know it.
Yes, but you're actually making my case when you think about that. So what we're saying when you look at Libra is that if you're already a big, powerful company, that you can pay $10 million, you can enter this, and you're going to take away all competition. So you can only use Uber. So you can only go to one certain bank. So you can only use Facebook. They're taking the big, powerful companies, seeing something move up when it comes to Bitcoin, and say, we better get ahead of the curve. But let's not make it really decentralized. Let's let the public believe it's part of that. We'll use blockchain. Maybe they use it to take more of not only what I look at, but what I buy. And let's make nobody else enter this market. Because really what you want competition. I want to see competition and somebody else able to rise up. I want to see decentralization, but it's right that Washington actually asks these questions, because Libra concerns me that they're going to control the market.
So, but the issue that I'm wrestling with is decentralization. I love the idea of decentralization, except for the fact that, as you know, the U.S. has had a monopoly on money, or at least its own currency, as have so many countries for so long. Decentralization effectively takes away that monopoly, which may be a great thing, but also takes away that control that the country may want. But on the flip side, you have, as you said, a lot of companies all coming together, including, by the way, the credit card companies that are behind this.
Well, the credit card companies are going to try to get behind this, which concerns me, because how do they make their money? By being the middleman. What does blockchain do? Takes away the middleman. Anytime you make capital more efficient, yeah, it's going to make it better for the consumer, but that's why these companies are getting involved in it, because that is how they make their money. Now, listen, I'm really concerned about the dollar. But also, when you look to the future, we should be ahead of it. You shouldn't be afraid of technology, but you should understand it in a greater sense. And how can we prepare that tomorrow is better than today? That's why we should have these debates.
Just seeing a government official speaking positively, even in any context, is because you do lose control, which is very powerful with the currency. And that's why I initially, when President Trump said some negative things about Bitcoin, I said, well, what do you want? What do you expect? Of course he's going to, but that's why I'm surprised when you do. But I think I could talk to him for 10, 15 minutes, and I think I could get him to understand that it's not what he thinks. And I think you could too, and obviously you haven't. I'll tell you the one thing I'm worried about. Yes. If you're using blockchain for everything, it's going to be like 180 degrees outside, because of the carbon footprint and all the power that it takes to use that. Aren't you worried about? I mean, I don't know if you're a carbon footprint worried guy. I can't. Look, I'm worried about. I'm eating just. I just eat mud now. I don't eat anything.
Well, if you're concerned about that, you should be very happy about living in America, because we're lowering our CO2.
No, I'm not.
Unlike China, India, and France.
No, I got it. But you know what I mean, though. It would be very power intensive
But remember,
I've seen
every innovation will get better and more efficient. Every innovation. This is the first. This technology is in the first and second version. And it's true about the question that you asked about Bitcoin. But Bitcoin could actually take that protection to actually give that assurance to somebody if something's stolen. What Facebook is doing, and you can't argue against Facebook, they're trying to keep a monopoly or trying to keep a control, and they went to their biggest customers, and they've got a base to start with of millions of people on a platform, and let's control another element of what they're doing. Why? Because they see where Bitcoin and blockchain is going, and they want to get out in front of it. But they want to get in front of it to make money.
You don't think that they're trying to solve the inherent challenges that Bitcoin presents?
They're probably trying to see that, look, Bitcoin has a future. Maybe it's so many decades ahead of us, but what if they can use a small version of what I really think they're doing is they're taking Venmo and actually putting a new version on it and trying to add a blockchain to it at the same part.
You have a Twitter,
because a bank wouldn't be in it.
You have a Twitter account. You get ready, because what's your Twitter handle? Because you're going to get memes. I've got memes where I'm like Moses rising into the heavens with like a Bitcoin.
I'm a GOP leader.
You're going to get that. Have you gotten any yet? Because you're at GOP leader. You're going to get it. Because you're going to, I think you're at least in stage 4. You're not quite an evangelist yet, but I think you're a believer in Bitcoin, aren't you? You are.
Yeah. Yes. Look, the more I study blockchain, the protection that it provides, and when I'm looking at the rest of the world, and yes, we want our currency to be the strongest, but when you look at technology and where it's going, and you think about China and these other countries and what they're trying to do, we cannot keep our heads in the sand. How can we be more secure? How can we protect our own privacy?
Leader, but here's the issue, and look, I'm, as you know, a big fan of Bitcoin, but I think if you were to talk to the folks at the FBI or the NSA or the CIA, they would tell you that actually Bitcoin presents a real challenge. Possibly much more than Libra, to be honest with you.
It does. It produces a big challenge, but I can do that in something else. These states have legalized marijuana, and we don't allow them into the banking system. Brings a big challenge because they're just using dollars. I mean, yeah, these are challenges that we have. That is why we should have hearings. That's why we should discuss this. That's why we can solve these problems.
I'm wondering, now I think there might be something wrong with you because you're very smart and you still went into politics. So I'm not kidding. It's like, wow, you're way too smart to be doing what you're doing right now. But thank you for being there anyway, leader. I'm glad. I'm happy you're there. I just don't understand.
I don't think any of my teachers or professors said
now
that.
I don't understand it. It's like, holy smoke. I mean, I watch these guys on the finance committee when they're talking, and it's mind-boggling. But you're going to get a lot of we're going to tweet this out. It should be. I think you actually, your quote was, "I like Bitcoin." Did you hear that?
Yes.
I know. That may be what we tweet out. Anyway, thank you, Minority Leader. I made a mistake. I almost said Majority Leader. I'm living in the past.
That's right. Well, we're going to get back there. Just give us a few more months.
You know I'm living in the past.
You said it.
I know. I am. All right. Like Jethro Tull. Thank you.